Hey, so after quite a lot of issues, we're doing the last 4 shoot days quite soon, which means that the filming will be coming to an end, and it's been a stressful journey. I'm learning so much at the same time as gaining a whole bunch of different skills. So many issues that I didn't think I'd have to deal with before, and learning a lot about people's reliability. For example, we've had to change the location. This is the third time now, and we're shooting next week, and we are filming in a completely different location than the one that was originally planned, which is not fun, but it's directing. I'm learning is all about adapting, moving on, problem solving, and it's working in the moment and working. Uh, Working with a very hectic environment and finding solutions to problems. That's exactly what directing is. And then at the same time, you're trying to be creative as well. Then managing that with being doing producing and production managing. It's well, production managing between me and Robbie is it's not great really. Ideally, on the next film, I'd like to have a production manager who lives a lot closer so we can communicate a bit better and we can just have constant meetings in person rather than on the phone. It would make things so much more easier. Other things I'm learning about scheduling. Scheduling is extremely important. Ideally, next time I'd like to have somebody to do all the scheduling for me so I don't have to worry about that. Budgeting. So initially the budget was 2 grand, and that was being a bit generous. And then we brought down the budget to I think it was 1.5 grand hypothetical budget, and it seems to be that it's going to cost around that, and that's just due to things going wrong. So that's issues where, for example, I'm paying. Initially, the price for the location was about £250 for 4 days for the next 4 days of filming. That's excluding all of the set in stone locations like the cafe, the lecture hall. Those things were set in stone months and months and months ago, and because they're part of an organisation and a corporation, it means that it's very hard for them to just budge on something like that. And things were set in stone in paper. Then when we're organising a location, filming at an apartment, it's completely different because um, we're having to talk to the person who owns it directly. They've never worked with film before. They've never dealt with a film crew. They've never dealt with that many people coming to sets, and a whole bunch of different problems arise. Like first location, so many issues. It's such a beautiful, perfect location. We had this place confirmed for months. I think it's like 5 or 6 months in advance, and then like we went to do the crowdfunding, and the woman was really happy. Like, yeah, it's great. I'm happy with you filming here. I know everything that's going on. Just go and do whatever you want, and then just let me know if you need me. Then after that, I told her before we left that we're planning on doing some more shoots there. So I just went over everything with her, and she's like, "Yep, that's perfect. That's fine. That's great." Then when we come to the shooting on the actual day, and obviously things went a bit iffy with that. Like I'm learning more things about scheduling with different people arriving to the location in different ways. So we've got people coming from trains, we've got people coming from getting a lift in, we've got different stations that are involved, one in Chester, one more closer to the location. And thankfully, I gave myself loads of time to prep for that, so that wasn't an issue at all. We get to the location, we're ready to film, and then the landlady comes in and she's saying, oh, there's too many people here. I didn't know there'd be this many people. You've got a big film crew, and I was kind of thinking, what did you expect really? We said we were making a film here, and we confirmed this with you. And if it wasn't okay with you, we wouldn't have like got everything ready to film here. And since I thought we're already there, we're already at the end of the day, it's her property. So I said, what can I do to make you happy about it? What can we do to sort this? It's like I say, directing is all about problem solving, so this is a good way to get it done, get it out of the way. What can I do to make her happy so we can still film here? and I say if we can take people off set, or if we could do, for example, move the makeup department separately across from set. I mean, add a bit more time. It would add a bit more time to the schedule, but at the same time, it would make her happy. And if it comes to it and we're not allowed to film there, then at least I know now, and we can let everyone know. But she just brushed it off and she said, "No, it's fine. It's fine. I understand. It's a small project. I know you're a good person. I'll let you get on with it." And then it comes to the end of the shoot, last shot left. So, to be honest, this shot I was just taking a bit of extra time with because it was a little bit of B-roll and it just didn't look right. There's something off about it. It was a scene where the protagonist is picking up a bag of like the little cold chicken nibbles that you could say eat on the train or eat with your lunch, and the prop we were using was literally just a plastic bag with bits of chicken meat in it because we were trying to avoid having advertisement in the film. I was spending a little bit of time with it, thinking, oh, you can't really see anything. And then at that point, the landlady kicks off, starts screaming, at even one point starts to threaten to get people down to get us out, and overall very aggressive towards us, shouting, screaming, swearing at us, saying, "Get out, get out." So I talked to her briefly and said, well, I thought things were confirmed. I thought you were okay with this. I thought we talked things earlier and thought even when you came to see us today, I thought things were okay. Then she just kept going on and on, and it got to the point where her husband came out as well and was just telling us to go. And at that point, I was like, well, I don't want to put the crew through any stress at all. We'd even planned for one of the actresses to stay at the Airbnb that night, and it was all confirmed with the owner. I didn't feel comfortable letting my actress stay over at this place. It was clearly not safe for us to be in. So we had to actually get multiple lifts to bring people back, and she ended up staying at mine. Things happen, you move on. It's going to be a funny story to tell later, but at the time it was very stressful, not fun for everyone, and yeah, overall I really would have wanted to avoid that if it's possible. And then go on to the next location now, and it's a friend of my brother's. Everything seems fine beforehand, and then just before the paperwork's about to be cleared and we're gonna book in locations. I mean, the dates were confirmed to be okay for us to film there. It's just things haven't gone through in terms of paperwork. We hadn't sent any money for. We're still waiting on getting everything confirmed with everybody individually. And then at that point, on the day that's going to be confirmed, we find out that he's just last minute took another booking for several more days than we were planning there. So seems like a few issues with possibly money, and then also the fact that instead of I'm going through word of mouth, they're going through a website, so they're getting priority over us, which is very annoying since I thought things were confirmed, and especially when you're using a friend's house or my brother's friend, then you think like it's more relaxed, you're filming there, it's easy, they know what's going on, and they're not going to have an issue with the crew there. That just bailed on us. What we're supposed to do now, we're filming next week. So, calling up a bunch of different places, we're going to see what's happening. Few good places are in mind. I don't want any issues like last time. I've been going over every single detail with this guy now. He knows exactly how many people are going to there. He's seen the crowdfunding, he's got all the information he needs. And I keep emphasizing that if there's anything that I haven't gone over, anything you want to know, just let me know, because I want to make you feel comfortable. I want to make sure that you know what's going on. And overall, this guy seems really good. He's worked with film students before, so in a different sense, they've stayed at his house for filming it off in a different location, and they've kept crew there at his. So in that sense, it's been a bit different, but same time, he's working with film people, and there's got to be part of that he knows. So that's all good. Hopefully things will go well. And then in the meantime, it's sorting out the props, sorting out the shooting schedule in full needs to be done. The storyboards need to be finalised. All the props, labels the props, costume design as well. Everything needs to be done. And then, like I said, it's sorting out the props, sorting out the shooting schedule in full needs to be done. The storyboards need to be finalised. All the props, labels the props, costume design as well. Everything needs to be done. It's the costume design itself is sorted, but it's a problem of actually finding somebody to make sure that the actresses are wearing the right clothes for the correct scenes, and then giving enough time for that in the shooting schedule. Then after that, the other problem is scheduling the makeup for that, sorting out the sound, and yeah, there's a few other things like one of the other locations we're going to film at. It was like it seemed like a really good location, and it was mostly confirmed to film at. But at the end, I just decided, due to other issues, like it's a scene when we're filming the protagonist outside. It's supposed to be her zone, like a rooftop or a small little garden or somewhere she can escape to. And originally we had like a balcony, and it was quite good. Problem with that is the person we were going to do it at their house, they wouldn't be there during the time of filming, so we would be working with their parents. And since they're not too familiar with me, I feel like there'd just be some issues there, because we'd be using a rain machine, be using a fake moonlight, and then we'd also be using a live animal, or a cat, basically. So too many issues in such a small space with people that don't know us, and even though it seemed like they'd be fine for it, the problem is I don't want to run into any issues. So I'm going to be shooting that in my back garden. It just gives me so much more room. Use my cats, got my little moonlight there. Then I've got my own fake rain machine, so everything should be fine with that. It's just making sure it has the right feel and look for it. It's I'm learning so much more about it. It's not so much getting everything to stay exactly to the script. It's not like, oh well, I compromised on this bit, but this other bit is exactly how the script goes. It's more about the overall feel for it. So, for example, this scene when she's escaping to this area, there's a few criteria that it needs to be met. One, she needs to have somewhere where she can go to at night that she can easily access from the apartment. Two, it needs to be somewhere where the girlfriend can decorate it in a way as a sort of celebration. So candles, many lights, even like a fake little dinner setup, like a little takeaway thing. So a garden kind of works for that as well. It has to be small enough that it doesn't look odd having this big, huge, nice garden in this small dingy apartment. That doesn't really work. But as long as that criteria is met, then it is perfect and it works. Even though some things that I loved about the rooftop and the balcony location is she's looking over the edge and she's viewing off the city. Again, that presents some other issues because that dates the film, and I wanted the date of this film to be 1980s-ish, but sort of ambiguous. It's kind of up to interpretation. It's more like an alternate reality film, with elements from the 80s that I really like, and I think sort of give it a little bit of a style, and especially with the way it's going to be filmed, and especially the way that I'm editing it as well, with a little bit of chromatic aberrations, all going for this very retro nostalgia feel to it. So having like a big huge city rooftop with a lot of lights, it does kind of set it in stone. So in that way, you can take that as a plus, as an advantage. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I haven't covered. Okay, so other little things. Now in between the time of doing the full work, I'm trying to layer it up. So putting a few Easter eggs in there. Just I've got pizza takeaway boxes, and I've got a reference to my previous film. Then I've also got a reference to the girlfriend in it, and this is when she's living in a rut now. Like you'll know when you see the film, like, but more or less, I'm trying to layer up little hidden details. So I've got a movie poster in the background. I've got test papers there. I've got little hidden things that hopefully will just maybe not be picked up on the first watching, but maybe in like a second or third watching, then somebody could just be like, oh, I noticed that little thing. Or even to just like the cast and the crew when they watch it and we all get together. That's the main thing I'm looking forward to. Like the premiere, going to be two premieres, one premiere here, and we can just all sit together, all watch it on like a tiny little projector. We'll have a few drinks. I'll buy in some cheap champagne, but champagne, isn't it? what's it, sparkling white wine, alcoholic or something, whatever the cheapest champagne is that you can't actually call it champagne. Get some of that in, get a little nibbly snacks, maybe some little classy sausages on a stick, you know. And then we'll do like a movie poster signing, like on my last film. Do a little DVD thing. Um, yeah, just looking forward to that, and then hopefully we're gonna do like a big screening. Let's see if I can get it into a local film theater. I'm so excited to get it all sorted, but it's you can't rush to the finish line. You have to do it, and it's like a small, squashed, dense space of time where you have to fit everything into it. And you can usually skip bits because you're looking forward to that premiere at the end. But then, how good is that premiere going to be? How good is the film that we've all worked so hard on? If you're just skipping steps, everything has to be done with precise effort. You can't just whatever. But anyway, that is going to be the end of my update. Hopefully, I'll give you another one when we've done filming.